Hi, I'm Kirk Evans, president of U.S. LawShield. We're here today to talk about two new laws going into effect on May 15th in the state of New Mexico. So the first is HB 129, which imposes a 7-day waiting period on the purchase of firearms in New Mexico. So for most folks, this is going to be more of an annoyance. You go in to buy a gun, pass your NICS check, pay, do everything right there, and the seller will not be able to transfer that firearm to you for 7 calendar days. Now, the tricky part is what I consider private transfers. So if you want to transfer that gun to someone besides an immediate family member, you're still going to have to go through the NICS background check, and you're still going to have to wait 7 days. So if you don't know about this law or do not follow it, the statute says that both the buyer and the seller are guilty of this new crime under New Mexico law if they do not uphold the 7-day waiting period. So that's one item to look out for gun owners. There is an exemption in the law for 1, transfers to immediate family members, and 2, concealed handgun licensees. So if you have your concealed handgun license, you go into a gun store, you are going to be able to avoid that 7-day waiting period. The next one is SB 5, which imposes a ban on firearms at polling places in New Mexico. And so the statute here is very, very tricky. It imposes a ban within 100 feet of the door through which folks go to enter the polling place. It's going to be very difficult to calculate, figure out where that 100 feet is, and to figure out, in fact, which door, if any, if there are several doors, just one door, that folks would enter to go into this polling place. The tricky part here is that there are a number of innocuous locations that might actually be otherwise fine to enter that might, in fact, be a polling place on a particular day. So very, very tricky for gun owners. Make sure you research this, particularly around election time, and particularly if you're going to vote, figure out if these locations qualify and where you can and cannot have your firearm. On this law, too, there is also an exemption for concealed handgun licensees. So for folks with a concealed handgun license in New Mexico, you're going to be fine. You can still carry at the polling place. Interesting aspect about these bans on guns at polling places is a number of states that you would consider friendly to guns, sort of less strict gun regulations, have had bans on polling places for years, but a number of gun unfriendly states, think Illinois, Michigan, and now New Mexico, have not had any prohibition on guns at polling places and are now moving to enact those laws to keep folks from carrying guns at polling places. I did a significant amount of research. I have not found a single shooting at a polling place in New Mexico after my research, so not quite sure where we're going with this new law. But for U.S. LawShield members, if you have any questions about either of these new laws, part of your membership is at no additional cost. You could call in, ask to speak to the independent program attorney in your state, and they can help walk you through any questions you might have on these issues. Thank you for watching.